Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me right now? Someone's calling. I'm about to record a video. Oh. Oh. The microphone just hit my crotch. Okay. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy. Hey everyone, it's me again. Did you miss me? It's me, Ahmad. Your least favorite friend and also creator of the channel, Ahmad's Void. The one you're watching this video on right now. I don't know what Ahmad's Void is. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing with this channel. I don't know what I'm doing with anything, to be honest. Oh, Ahmad, tell us what the video is going to be about. I haven't seen the title. Ahmad, I'm an idiot. Well, dear viewer, the video is going to be about Twitter versus Instagram. Been debated for decades on end. Life's biggest question: which is the better social media site / app, Twitter or Instagram? We're gonna delve into that today. Look at all the positives, all the negatives, in a very professional manner. This is not gonna be professional at all. Have you seen this guy? He's a pretty great guy. He's called Gerald. This is my pillow pet, Gerald. Go away, Gerald.
Wouldn't it be nice if we were older, then we wouldn't have to wait so long?
You might be thinking, hey, what happened to your green screen, Ahmad? You know the green screen that you made a huge deal out of getting, and you made a whole video about how you got a green screen and how great it's gonna be? Well, what happened to that is it just, without any warning, without indication, it just fell apart. Like my life. Why am I making YouTube videos? Help! Okay, anyway, let's start off. Why did I choose Twitter versus Instagram to start off with? Why those two in particular? Well, I feel like they have a pretty similar kind of design and purpose and function. Like, they have similarities in what they're meant to do as a social media site. Like, it would be a bit strange if I just did like YouTube versus Twitter or Discord versus Instagram, because YouTube's like a video sharing site and Discord's a messaging service. So I feel like Twitter and Instagram kind of similar. There are other social medias out there, other social media sites I could have done, but like Facebook or Snapchat. Facebook I didn't do because it's for old people. It's for old, out of touch people. Only old people use Facebook. Am I right, guys? And Snapchat's for babies, guys. If you use Snapchat, you're basically, what are you 2? How old are you if you use Snapchat? Snapchat's for young people. Here I am generalizing an entire like population of people because they use a social media app. But basically, at the end of the day, I don't really like Snapchat or Facebook. Basically, Twitter and Instagram, the ones I use the most. Hey, remember when Facebook literally sold everyone's personal data to Cambridge Analytica in early 2018? Do you remember when that happened last year? Oh, that was a great time, isn't it? Everyone's personal data being sold off against their will, and there's nothing you can do about it. It really makes you want to not trust Facebook. Also, remember how Facebook literally owns Instagram, and for some reason people still choose to use both Facebook and Instagram? Despite all of this, despite the fact that all the data got leaked. Why? I think Reddit's one. Reddit's a social media site. I quite like Reddit. I think Reddit's quite cool. I just don't use it that much because I don't know what subreddits to go to. I have a Reddit account. Sometimes I browse Reddit, but I have zero karma. So if that's a consolation for anything, probably shouldn't talk about Reddit if I know nothing about it. For 4chan and Tumblr, they're two things that exist. I don't want to talk about them either because Tumblr's basically a place where everyone's too sensitive and annoying, and 4chan's basically a place where everyone's too edgy and annoying. But mainly, also again, I just haven't really used either of them, and I don't plan to in the future. Hey, remember when Tumblr was a thing? Remember when it wasn't a dying platform? Yeah, because recently, I don't know if you heard, Tumblr got yeeted off the App Store after it was found out that there was just a ton of child porn found on Tumblr. And when Apple heard of this, they were like, ooh, that's not good. We don't want this to hurt our brand and our reputation. So then, as I said, Tumblr got yeeted off the App Store. And then Tumblr had a very clever idea of banning everything NSFW related. But one of the main reasons people use Tumblr is for NSFW stuff. But anyway, yeah, then that all got banned and now Tumblr's dead. The end. let's get back to the show. But let's get on with it. Let's get on with the show. Let's get on with each section. Analyze a bit of Twitter and Instagram. First of all, Twitter is just pretty normal social media site. You have to make posts, and the text limit is 280 characters. You can't write anything more than that. It used to be 140, but they extended it recently, so you can write 280 characters. You can do images, you can put GIFs, you can do polls. There's a bunch of stuff you can do on Twitter. You can like tweets that other people do. So tweets are basically just mean posts. You can like other people's tweets, you can retweet them, so you it's like a reblog or something that you put them on your page, and you can follow other people. You can't really friend people like you can on Facebook, but you can direct message people. You can also do that with Instagram. It's a pretty basic site. I feel like pretty intuitive, pretty normal. It has a lot of users, but I think a lot of people just don't know how to use it for some reason. I quite like Twitter. I quite like how it works. I feel like it's a good social media site. Let's go through some of the problems with Twitter now, though, because Twitter is by no means a perfect site. It has a few problems. Mainly, some of these problems are going to be with how just for both Twitter and Instagram, I'm going to look at some of the problems with how the app or the website functions, and then some of the problems with its audience and the people who use the site, because that's a big part of the experience. If you have a great app and a great site, but everyone on there has less than 2 brain cells, it's not really going to be fun to use. So some of these problems are going to be based on the audience, some of these problems are going to be based on the actual app itself. So first of all, there's no edit button. You can't edit tweets. Once you tweet it, it's just either permanently there with whatever typo or mistake you may have made, or you have to delete it out of embarrassment and make a new tweet or something. There's just no edit button, and Twitter is pretty adamant. It's pretty no, we don't want an edit button. Your mistakes will remain immortal forever. Yeah, I don't know, that's not going great. You can't edit posts. One thing that I think YouTube did quite well with the edit button, is that it just shows edited next to the comment. If you want to edit a comment, then it shows that it was edited. I don't know, it's just no edit button for tweets. That's a bit annoying. There's no stories either. I don't know if this is a positive or a negative. It's just a lack of a feature that seems to be pretty popular right now. Snapchat obviously has stories, Instagram has stories, which I'll get onto later and a bit more, and Facebook has stories now as well. Even YouTube has stories, which I just don't get. Why does YouTube need stories? I have no idea. Anyway, that's a topic for another day. Basically, stories are temporary posts almost. You just post something short, like a video or a photo or something, and it will show it to all your followers for a short amount of time, like a day or a few days or something, and then it's gone forever. So basically, again, Twitter is quite kind of permanent. A lot of the stuff that you do on it will be permanent. That's something worth mentioning. So Twitter is quite public. Most of the things on Twitter you'll see from people who it'll be to a large audience. It'll be quite public between everyone, open to everyone most of the time. You can have a private account, but most of the time Twitter's used for public interactions with strangers and whatever, whereas with Instagram and I feel Facebook is for example really good to keep in contact with family. Instagram's really good to keep in contact with friends, and Twitter's just basically for everyone, that everyone can see your tweets. You can tweet to everyone. That's basically just how the site works. I feel like the 280 character limit, I don't know if it counts as a problem. I don't really mind it. I feel like it makes you kind of write concise things. You can't go on for ages. It's just keeps it to a limit. I feel like it's quite helpful, but some people find that weird, or it puts you off. But you can do multiple tweets and do a thread. It's not that big a deal, to be honest. I don't think that's a big problem, but some people think 280 characters is still too short. Maybe you want to write a 3,000 character essay, you're not going to be able to write that on Twitter. One thing I want to mention about polls that I didn't get to mention about Twitter was that with polls, a lot of the time people just forget that you can do polls on Twitter, and people are just idiots, and they do like, retweet if you agree with thing 1 and like if you agree with thing 2. Like, guys, you can do a poll, you don't have to do retweets. I know you get loads of retweets if you do that. It'll be like, retweet for Fortnite or like for Minecraft, and it's like, no, just do a poll. I don't want to see this on my timeline. I don't want to put this on anyone else's timeline. Just do a poll. Just do, which do you prefer, Fortnite or Minecraft, and keep it to yourself. Don't say retweet. But I'm just trying to say that I don't like it when people like pressurize you or force you into retweeting something or sharing something. It's just basically chainmail. Have you seen that, where it's like you get an email and it's like, share this to 3 other people or your mother will die? And it's just like, no, I don't want to share it. That's just not gonna happen. Sometimes it's a bit more like light-hearted when it's like, retweet to pet the cat. I don't mind that much. It's worse when it's like, retweet or you'll have a year of bad luck, and then idiots retweet it. Absolute morons retweet it. I don't get it. How can you be that stupid? I'm sorry, I lost my temper there. It's not that bad. It's not that big a deal. One problem as well with like the people who use Twitter, there are a lot of viral tweets on Twitter, and people who do them are just, it's just become a trend now. If you make a joke or you post something funny viral and it goes viral, then you'll see that person who made that tweet link to their SoundCloud or something after and be like, oh hey guys, I know I got thousands of likes and retweets here, can you guys check out my SoundCloud? No one wants to see your SoundCloud. Why would we want to see your SoundCloud? It's not actually, I don't really care about it, but it's just like, it's worth mentioning that a lot of kind of viral tweets, a lot of the time they've just like stolen jokes and stuff. Also, Twitter's like kind of an echo chamber, to be honest. Like, Twitter's not a nice place for politics or like opinions or anything. Like, Twitter's the worst place because people hide behind like anime avatars and then just call people slurs behind their computer screen, and it's just, that's how it goes, and it's just a very toxic environment. I feel like if you want to have any serious political discourse, Twitter is not the place to go, especially because of the 280 character limit. You're just not going to be able to have a proper discussion on Twitter. So yeah, Twitter is just like not great because everyone thinks that people care about your opinions, which they don't. No one cares about your opinion. If you just get that in your head, no one cares about your opinion. Your followers, I guarantee, don't care about your stupid opinion about whether pineapple belongs on pizza or something. Just shut up and have fun and stop moaning about things on Twitter.
People who debate online in general, like anything, just people who debate with people they don't know online. What's more annoying than the debate itself is the fact that people think their opinions matter on the fucking internet. You're so discontent with your life that you're arguing with people you've never seen before online. Are you fucking idiot?
That's basically, yeah, Twitter's just, you go to Twitter if you want to complain and see other people's complaints. That's how I'd describe Twitter. Also, another complaint about people who use Twitter, just reaction GIFs. I hate reaction GIFs so much. Don't use them. Don't use them. Don't send me reaction GIFs. I don't want to see them. They're not original. They're not funny. They're not interesting. You're not an interesting person if you use reaction GIFs that everyone's seen a billion times. Gets on my nerves. Don't use reaction GIFs. Reaction GIFs are the worst. And also, another just gonna end a debate here. It's pronounced GIF. I don't care what you say. It stands for, what does it stand for actually again? Graphics Interchange Format. GIF stands for Graphic Interchange Format, whatever that is. I mean, GIFs I don't even like that much, just because they're like videos that have been compressed and turned into images. I don't know. I don't like GIFs. That's just me. That's not really anything got to do with Twitter or Instagram. But you can't post GIFs on Instagram, as far as I'm aware. So if you want to go to Twitter, you're gonna have to deal with a lot of people who use reaction GIFs. So there you go. And it is pronounced GIF because It's graphic interchange format. Graphic. It's not giraffic. It's not giraffe. It's not. That's a bad joke. It's not GIF. Don't pronounce it GIF. It's pronounced GIF. Just gonna end the debate here. It's pronounced GIF. What am I doing with my life? Oh yeah, I'm spending a lot of time on Twitter, but I forgot there's another thing I wanted to say about Twitter. Mainly the people who use Twitter again, and not Twitter itself. But stan Twitter. This is a direct message from me to you. Stop. Just stop. Just stop stan Twitter. I don't like you. No one likes you. Stop it. I don't like stan Twitter. Now you may be wondering, Ahmad, what the hell is stan Twitter? What are you on about? Why are you saying stan Twitter? Who's stan? Well, stan Twitter is a bunch of people who idolize and obsess over more famous people. Which is basically just everything I hate. Don't do it. It's just a bad idea. If you're wondering why it's called stan Twitter, basically Stan is an Eminem song from I think like 2000 or something, and it was all about, you might have heard of it, it's just like about Eminem writing, like the whole song is about this crazy obsessive fan who writes a letter to Eminem, and then Eminem doesn't get to reply to the letter, and then the guy ends up like killing himself and his girlfriend. So it's just not, don't be stan. It's pretty, like, it's not even a subtle message, like don't obsess over famous people. It's really explicit. It's explicitly saying don't do this, don't be stan. And then a bunch of people were like, hey, you know that guy who's obsessed over Eminem and then killed himself and his girlfriend in his car? Yeah, let's name ourselves after him. What? Yeah, stan Twitter is like a bunch of people who have their like icon and their avatar as someone who's more famous than them, like a YouTuber or Ariana Grande or something. So there's just like a bunch of people like, oh, K-pop, I love you so much. I haven't listened to K-pop, but I just know people who like K-pop really like K-pop, or Korean pop, as the full name is. Okay, I think that's enough of Twitter. I don't want to talk about K-pop people anymore. Let's move on to Instagram. Instagram. What can you do on Instagram? Well, it's pretty much the same thing you can do on Twitter and Facebook and any other place. You post stuff, you post images. There's one kind of problem I have with it. It's only images, you can't have any text. Or you have captions for images, but you can't post text by itself. You just have images. So you mainly photos. Instagram mainly consists of photos of everyone being more happy than you. That's basically Instagram, and that's all it is. It's just images of people most of the time. You can like Instagram posts, you can comment on them, whereas on Twitter you can reply with your own kind of post and it can start a discussion. When you comment on Instagram, it just kind of gets lost in the sea of comments, or it's the only comment on the post. So I don't like how comments work that much on Instagram, but I don't know, you can, yeah, basically you like posts, you comment on them, you share them, that's all you do. That's basically Instagram. You can't have, there's no polls, there's no links. Links I get really annoyed with because I want to promote stuff lots of the time on Instagram, and only people with like tens of thousands of followers can actually promote stuff. One thing that Instagram does have really good is stories. I like stories. I think they're kind of cool. You know when I said that people post how happy they are on social media? Apparently I missed the memo because all my stories are just very depressed. Hey everyone, hey followers on Instagram, I'm in pain. And they're like, oh, okay, I don't know what you want us to do about it, but okay. I haven't had any sleep. Okay, we get it. You haven't had any sleep. Okay, are you okay? No. Yeah, that's basically how all my stories go. My stories on Instagram are not very pleasant. That's just a little personal thing for me. One thing is that, you know, have you ever heard of Xiejra Music? I think it's how you pronounce it. I don't really know how you pronounce the name. Xiejra Music. He's a friend of mine. He's commented on a few of my videos, and I thought I'd give him a little shout out here. That he makes great music. If you think if you like music for your ears, go listen to his music, Xiejra music. I think he's probably made a song. Anyway, the point is that I was gonna say is Xiejra's music on his like private spam account. He seems to share a similar sentiment of not really liking life, and he posts loads of suicidal shit, just like me. So I feel like we almost have an unofficial competition where we just flex our lack of a will to live with each other. So hey, Xiejra music, if you're watching this, I want to die more than you. Instagram is the worst place you can go if you want to look at memes. All memes on Instagram are stolen. I guarantee there's no original memes on Instagram. They're all stolen, and they're all shared and repeated 1,000 times and compressed and watermarked, and they're always like, oh, who did this? Laughing emoji. Where's the laughing emoji? Who did this? Oh, who did this, guys? I don't know. I don't want to credit the original poster. Oh, memes. Yeah, Instagram doesn't have any good memes. Well, it does have good memes. They're just all stolen, and most of the time they're not good. But yeah, I know a lot of people have meme accounts on Instagram. Twitter has a lot of original memes. Instagram does not. Reddit has even more original memes. Reddit has a lot of memes. Even Tumblr and 4chan have a lot of memes. Instagram, there's no original content. There's no originality. It's just stolen. They're all stolen memes. And I think there's just a lot of stolen content on Instagram, but there's probably a lot of stolen content on Twitter too. So I'm not going to bash it too much for that. Instagram doesn't have a website, or a good one at least. You can't post things on Instagram via the website for whatever reason. You can only kind of look at some posts, and it's just really, I don't like the Instagram website. Twitter you can use on the app on mobile, and you can use it on the website on a computer, and it works perfectly fine. I'd argue that the Twitter website is sometimes even better than the mobile version, but they're both pretty good. You can't do that with Instagram. Instagram's just, you have to use the app. I thought I'd mention that. It gets a bit annoying for me. Messages, you can message people on Instagram as well. I don't like hearts, that you can send hearts in Instagram Messenger. I don't know why. Why do you need to send hearts? If I wanted to send someone a heart, then I'd send them a heart emoji. But I don't want to. Why is there like a dedicated little symbol for a heart? Because most of the time I just like, my finger slips and I accidentally send a heart to someone, and it would just be like, oh hey Ahmad, my family member died, my cat died, and I send a heart by accident, and it would just be like, what? I didn't mean to send that heart, please. If I've sent you a heart, I guarantee I did not mean it. I probably just slipped. Instagram has some cool filters. That's one good thing I have to say about Instagram. I know a lot of this video is going to be complaining. Instagram has some pretty cool filters, some pretty cool editing stuff. You can rotate images like 360 degrees instead of just like in 90-degree increments. You can change the temperature. You can change all sorts of stuff. You can like distort it. You can edit images quite well in Instagram. That's why I quite like it. I don't know if I like the format of Instagram, that you have to you can't really crop images that well. You have to either do it by a kind of 1-to-1 square ratio, or just the size of the original image. But otherwise I think you can edit images quite well on Instagram, whereas Twitter is quite basic with its kind of editing software or whatever it offers. Archiving posts, I like being able to archive posts. I think that's a good feature. I think more websites and stuff should allow that. I think if Twitter had that would be great. If you could just archive tweets and stuff. It's basically like hiding it, kind of. Makes it sound a bit weird when you say it like that. But it's basically, if you want to post something, but you don't want to delete it, you just don't want it to be up on your page anymore, you can put it in an archive. And also the same thing happens with all your stories. They go to an archive and you can see whatever. Twitter has a feature that I forgot to mention earlier called draft tweets, which drafting something is pretty self-explanatory, but basically the gist of it is that if you write a tweet and you prepare it and it's all ready to go, but you don't want to post it straight away, or you want to add adjustments to it later, then you can save it and come back to it whenever you want and tweet it whenever you want, which is pretty useful. Two problems with it would be, for some reason you can't do it on the computer at all. It's only on mobile. You can't do it on a web version or anything. So draft tweets are only accessible and available on mobile or on the app. The other thing is that they don't save to your account, which I found out the hard way since I'd switched phones recently and all my draft tweets were gone. They just disappeared, deleted every single one. I had like 50 or something. So that's great. That was fun. Also, here's a chart to show how many draft tweets I make compared to the ones that I actually post. I hope you like the chart. Let's get back to wherever I was talking about. You're not allowed NSFW content on Instagram. You're not allowed not safe for work content. Everything on Instagram is kind of filtered. Like, you can't have nudity or like any sexual content, I think, something like that. I don't know whether that's a positive or negative. It's just something that happens on Instagram. So I don't know, I guess Instagram's kind of more family friendly, but there's a lot of like Instagram models of like people who just show their whole body on Instagram or as much as possible without getting banned. So I don't think there's Twitter models. That's quite an Instagram thing. You have Instagram models of, I don't know, I don't want to get into that, I can't really be asked. The weird thing is that I started using social media because I wanted to like spread my brand, kind of. I wanted to like get my brand out there and have some exposure for my YouTube channel. So that's why I kind of started using social media, at least. I don't really care about any other parts of social media, but I don't know, I use it quite a lot now for other reasons other than just promoting my brand. Instagram, more people engage with my posts and more people watch my stuff on Instagram, more people look at my Instagram account. If you might even be like find my channel from Instagram. I get a lot of like engagement there. So then you might be thinking, why wouldn't you use Instagram more if you get more engagement? I just don't like it as much as a site. I also don't like many of my followers. No, that's a bit mean. I don't mind my followers. If you're watching this video, I like you. You're cool. Thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I don't get to say that enough. I really appreciate you watching my stuff. That rhymes. What's the final verdict, Ahmad? Which one do you prefer? Okay, let's do it. Let's get a final verdict of taking in all the factors into account, all the points that I've made throughout this video, and see what is the definitive answer of which one's the better social media platform, Twitter or Instagram. So first of all, what we said was that Twitter does not have an edit button, Instagram does. Twitter does not have any stories, Instagram does. Twitter is mostly public. A lot of the interactions on Twitter are with strangers and with just anyone. Anyone can see your tweets most of the time. Twitter has a character limit. Instagram does not, as far as I'm aware, or at least it's got a lot more space of how much words you can put in. Twitter is pretty toxic, and there are a lot of arguments on Twitter. You just can't avoid it. There are a lot of arguments on Twitter. Twitter you can do draft tweets on, so that's pretty useful. Twitter, I hate reaction GIFs. I've made that quite clear. Don't use them. I don't like them. Stan Twitter can go to hell. Stan Twitter, stop. That's two opinions that I stated like facts. Okay, let's look at Instagram. Instagram does not let you use links. Twitter does let you use links, unfortunately. Instagram has terrible stolen memes, and Twitter has so much better memes. Instagram does not have a good website. Twitter does actually have a functioning website which you can post stuff on. Instagram has actually very good editing for images, but you can only post images. Instagram, you can do archiving for posts and stories, which is pretty useful. Instagram, you are not allowed any NSFW content. Remember when Instagram made Instagram TV, an exclusively vertical video sharing part of their app? That was such a great idea, wasn't it? Getting a monopoly on exclusively vertical videos, just the size of your phone when it's not horizontal. Oh, that's great. That's a good idea. Can we get a round of applause for Instagram TV? Last point is that Twitter has a dark mode, Instagram does not. Instagram needs a dark mode, Twitter has a dark mode. both the website and the app, Twitter wins. Twitter's the best site because it has a dog. Anyway, in conclusion, kind of, yeah, I just prefer Twitter. I follow 3,500 people on Twitter for whatever reason. That's a lot of people to follow. And like I chose, it's not like I was just randomly clicking follow. These are like people that I chose. I think half of them are YouTubers, half of them are artists or something. I follow a lot of people on Twitter. I've liked 30,000 posts or tweets or something. Ooh, that's a lot. I probably liked maybe 100 posts on Instagram. I've liked 30,000. That's a lot. Everyone has their own kind of thing that they use. I think whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, there's a lot of like social medias out there. I think my favorite is probably Twitter at the moment. Also, I don't know if that kind of thing will change. I think there's like social media is just like a really weird entity that I don't really, it just seems strange. It's a very strange idea that like just you post your opinions, you post your life, you take photos of what you eat and where you go and how you're feeling, and you have to tell the world how you're feeling because it's so important and everyone cares. When really it's like, no, not unless you're famous. Like social media doesn't really make sense. I think it kind of, it's cool to show your friends kind of like, oh hey, I'm having a great time today, but it does a lot of the time seem kind of like, I don't know, just social media in general, just healthy in small doses, like anything. And I think social media can be like powerful and interesting and useful, but it's also kind of like a stupid, mindless waste of time. Most of the time, you just like wake up, you grab your phone, you look at stuff, and you're not really paying attention. Most of the time, social media is just something to do, I think. There's one kind of funny thing I wanted to share at the end, was this stupid image that I've seen going around that Twitter and Instagram are in it, and they're like, it just shows basically, this is a little image of a ton of pills and tablets, but they're representing kind of social media sites like Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, WhatsApp. So basically it's saying all of these are addicting. All of these social media sites, they're worse than cocaine. It's worse, it's such a bad addiction. But the funniest part about it, sure, that's a point. You can make the point that social media is addicting. But it shows the dumbest examples. One of the pills is Uber. Who's addicted to Uber? No one's addicted to Uber. Can you imagine someone being like, oh, I can't get up without my good Uber. I need to use the Uber app and drive somewhere. I need to have someone drive me somewhere. I'm so addicted to Uber. One of them's Photoshop. One of them's Google. One of them's Apple. How can they be addicting? No one's like on Google for hours searching up random stuff. Google's not addicting. How is Photoshop addicting? Who made this? What out of touch individual made this and thought Photoshop's addicting? Let me put it on a pill and to represent how addictive Photoshop is. I don't even know how to. What? I need to Photoshop something. Oh my god! I need to get my fix. I can't live without Photoshop. What? Okay, anyway, that's like basically kind of all I wanted to say. I found that post really stupid and funny that anyone would think that Uber and Photoshop are addictive. That's basically it. Main point was like, I kind of forgot actually. I mean, I like Twitter. Basically, go follow me on Twitter, go follow me on Instagram. This was a huge fraud. It was a huge plug. It's just, I made this video only to promote my social media. So go check it out. Go check my Twitter out. I'll probably put it up somewhere here, I think. Go follow me on Twitter. Go follow me on Instagram. And also, TikTok can go die. Stop invading Twitter and YouTube. I want a safe space that's free from TikTok. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it on billboards. I don't want to see it on buses. TikTok can go die. So, Facebook. This could be the whole video. Just me being sad. That's basically what my entire channel is at this point. I just don't even... I don't know how to make videos anymore. The moon looks nice today.